What's up everyone, Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, August 12th, 2019. I hope you're doing well. Two things in this video. Number one, Litecoin mining scene looking strong, surprisingly. Many people saying that Litecoin's going to fail after the halving because nobody's going to want to mine it anymore. It doesn't seem to be the case. It's really not surprising. Number two, $200 plus Litecoin by the end of the year. A lot of this has to do with technicals, but a lot of it also has to do with really live chats and things of that nature, comments on these YouTube videos that I do in regards to Litecoin. Many of you throw your price point predictions out there for what you think this year will end with, and I thought it would be an interesting conversation to have in this video. Let's jump in and talk about it. First off, Charlie just tweeted, and I was actually wondering when he was going to tweet again, because he tweeted down here August 5th talking about Litecoin halving being a success, and he was going to kind of update as things progress. So here's a kind of an update he just tweeted. Here's the current state of script mining after the Litecoin halving. Litecoin still dominates the script mining scene with 98.57% of all script hash rate pointed at mining Litecoin. Note, merged mined does not count towards total. I got the data from whattomine.com, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out, but wanted just to throw that out there. He just tweeted about it and thought it was something to kind of update everybody on, just because it was a really big talking point. What's going to happen to miners after the Litecoin halving? Now, I really did not think that anything was going to happen. Maybe temporary decrease in terms of hash rates, which is another thing Charlie, I think, was talking about in this tweet on August 5th. But I'll put a link in the description. You can check it out yourself. Want to jump into price? Let's talk about this, because I tweeted earlier and I talked about momentum oscillators and the momentum of Litecoin and what this might look like. How can things come together to have a $200+ Litecoin by the end of the year? And here it is. It's very simple on the charts. Number one, what I was talking about in that tweet that I tweeted earlier, you may not seen it, but I'm just going to go over it with you real quick, is this. If we go over to this chart, this is the weekly chart, looking nice and messy, and we go down here to this stock RSI. First thing to note is this. The stock RSI it's like an indicator of an indicator. The stock RSI here is an indicator of this RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator up here. It gives us an idea of the momentum, strength of momentum of Litecoin. Now, please note, using the stock RSI or even just the RSI to make a decision on investing is not wise. You do not want to do that. You want to use these RSI momentum oscillators in synergy with price movements, patterns, targets, resistance, support, all of these things coming together. So just keep that in mind as we're looking at these things, but we'll talk about how these things might come together, and we'll zoom in on the daily chart to do that. But here we go. Here's the stock RSI I tweeted earlier, just a snapshot, right? And you can see this $22, you might remember, was the bottom of the bear market. $22. You can see the stock RSI oversold. You could also see the RSI oversold right here, right? So those two in synergy with each other in that oversold area, and the technicals that we have based on historical data, based on that last bear market for Litecoin, such a good area of accumulation. I don't know if you were accumulating, but wow, that was an amazing area of accumulation. Everything was lining up. So back to the stock RSI. We got that bounce all the way up to $60 real quick out of the bear market, little bit of consolidation, and then we're back $140, almost $150 Litecoin. This is what it looks like on the stock RSI. And then from that area, I remember doing videos when we're overbought, right? Talking about potential consolidation going into the halving. This is what that is right there, illustrated on the stock RSI. This time in the oversold area, we're at $85. We're not at $22, we're at $85. So when or if Litecoin decides to come out of this oversold area, and it doesn't have to be right away, by the way, we're in August. I mean, this could be down here till October, right? With little dips, further dips. Just please keep that in mind. But when we come out of here, potentially end of summer, fall, look at the possibilities in terms of upside. And that's always what we talk about in terms of these momentum oscillators, the possibilities in terms of upside. We do it on the daily charts, we do it on the 4-hour charts to see if we're going to make a move out of a certain pattern. And this is what it looks like on the weekly chart. This is the weekly chart, by the way. And you can see there's a ton of room for Litecoin momentum to increase price. Zooming out on the charts on the weekly, I want to show you something, because we have this. Obviously, we have the stock RSI we just talked about oversold. What we don't have is the RSI oversold. Now, is that a bad thing? It's not a bad thing, because we know, we've talked about so much on this channel, when you're looking at this momentum oscillator, namely on this chart, the weekly RSI, our 40 line really distinguishes very well between a bull market, bear market, from my perspective in terms of historical data. That's a great line to just kind of really get an idea of, wow, we're really in this bear market, or wow, we're really seeing some support in this bull market, right? So we first broke the 40 line coming out of the bear market in January into February. And we're right now just trying to form structure for the bull market ahead. Structure will be anywhere really above this 40 line, right? So the same thing happened after the last halving, when Litecoin just consolidated 70% back here to the 50-week moving average on the RSI. It didn't actually come down to the overbought area, but we were getting ready to enter a bull market. And this is what it looked like. Above the 40 line, actually almost exactly where we consolidated to after this halving, right around the 45, 47 line, 45, 46, 47 line. I don't know exactly on this RSI right here. So we're literally right there, right? So we're forming the foundation to bull market ahead. And look at the structure here that was formed at this area before like really crazy gains began in 2017, right? Everybody remembers that. So with all of that being said, we've consolidated, right? RSIs are looking very good on the zoomed out charts. This is the weekly. The only thing really in play right now is how quick will Litecoin make a move in terms of momentum. So if we're looking at a daily chart, what we have is this. We have this ascending triangle that we've been tracking that broke through the bottom trend line recently. And right now, in the very short term, we're looking for the short-term bounce off the 200 moving average on the daily chart to retest this bottom trend line. We want to see this busted formation, meaning we got the false breakout potentially to the bottom of this ascending triangle. Right now, we're testing that bottom trend line. It's the first step we need to see in terms of Litecoin continuing its upward momentum. And that's what we can continue to talk about on this channel. But that's the first thing we want to see. Support off this 50 moving average, and then, you know, out through this ascending triangle in a bullish move, bullish momentum to the upside. Now, in terms of that $200 plus price target, that move would be bullish, because this would have a target above this first Fibonacci retracement resistance area, the 786 to 618 down here, right? But secondly, it would be a step in the direction to a higher high on the 1618, which is very often the case in any type of wedge. A 1618 Fibonacci retracement would be a higher high in this long term from the bear market uptrend, right? That's where our higher high would be. That's in that like 185, 190 area, close to 200. So in an environment like that, that's what it would look like for Litecoin to reach around 200 plus in price by the end of this year. It all has to happen quick, because you remember after the last halving, Litecoin consolidated for a while. I think I have it on the chart. I actually don't have it. I thought I had it on the chart for how long it consolidated. I can put it up right real quick. Date range from that halving before Litecoin really saw some crazy gains, 588 days. Bitcoin and Litecoin have been moving way quicker this time around, way quicker in this cycle. The question is, will it happen again? Let me know your thoughts out there. Give me your end of year prediction for Litecoin. I would love to know what you're thinking. Thank you for coming by. If you're here and you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as part of the channel. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, and God bless.